In her last game, Staal netted his first hat trick in 14 years. And the Hurricanes are up in the Big Apple taking on the Rangers. Find what they need to do to come away with the win in today's episode of Locked On Hurricanes.
You're Locked On Hurricanes, your daily podcast on the Carolina Hurricanes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey there, Caniacs. Jared Ellis here, host of Locked On Hurricanes, and you are listening to Locked On Hurricanes on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. As always, follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at LO_, and myself on Twitter at Jared_96, and subscribe on YouTube as well. And as I mentioned in the top of the episode, in Hurricanes' previous game, the captain, Jordan Staal, netted his first in 18 years. His hat trick was November 11th of 2008. He was that is great about. He was still a member of the Pittsburgh Penguins then, and he was simultaneously now the youngest person to score a hat trick in NHL history when he was 18 years old and 118 years, 53 days old, and now has the record for longest span between regular season hat tricks with 4,809 days. And that is insane to think about. He's that's been known for 50 goals in a season, anything like that. But it was still very, very cool to see him go out and have a game like that. He's obviously, well into his career. And also, the best part is doing it at home and, in front of the home fans after 14 years not even having a hat trick or anything like that. A really good win against the Anaheim Ducks as well. Yeah, there was definitely some controversy in that game. The never-ending penalty call there, where you had Seth Jarvis and Andrei Svechnikov go to the box, as well as having, I believe, three of the Ducks go in as well. It was Ryan Getzlaf going in there, and you had Jerry Make and Adam Henrique for the guys going in there, because Andre, he had that trip on Getzlaf, and that just spawned a whole bunch of stuff. And because Getzlaf was trying to coax Svetch into doing something earlier, but he wasn't obliging. And then you had that there, and it's kind of set things off. I do like that Seth Jarvis, wasn't afraid to get in there. And the kid's, a kid. He's a kid. He is, I think, 20 years old, and he's going in there and sticking up for his team. And I do love to see that. I do obviously want him to play smart. Don't go in there, guns a blazing, and you get yourself hurt. Don't do anything like that. But I do like that he's not letting folks, bully him and it's around. I do like that. But overall, in that last game against Anaheim, the Hurricanes, all in all, was a really good effort for the Hurricane. That game, again, you had the special, you had the three Jordan Staal goals, you had Jordan Martinook get on. Well, that doesn't happen very often as well. And all in all, the Hurricanes were good in that game. I like that, where as often as of late, when they're putting up up a bunch of shots, they're still coming away with the loss. And in this game, yeah, they had 43 shots on goal compared to Anaheim's 25. I like that they're able to, you know, actually have some puck luck here in that game, as well as, just be able to capitalize on their shots. So often I'm saying, quality over quantity with this team. They're racking up 50 shots on goal a game. Some of those, they aren't great shots either. It feels like they're taking them for the sake of taking them. In this game against Anaheim, they were able to really take good shots and capitalize on them as well. Probably the one area where I wasn't pleased was the power play. That's still a bit of an issue right now. The Hurricanes went 0 for 2 on the power. Thankfully, Anaheim went 0 for 3 on theirs. So all in all, yeah, it wasn't something that was a dicker in the game, but the Hurricanes are going to need to get that under control, especially tonight against the Rangers, against Colorado in a little bit as well, and just going forward into the playoffs. They're really going to have to get that kind of stuff under control. And I like that the Hurricanes, they were able to bring some physicality in that game as well. They had 20 hits and out hitting the Ducks 20-15. One thing I didn't like was the Hurricanes, were they had some more giveaways. That I would have liked. Had 12 giveaways to Anaheim's 9. Not a huge fan of that, but again, we were able to come away with the win. The Hurricanes were able to do what they had to do to get the win there. I think that was God, I hate pollen, y'all. God, I hate it. I went on a rant in the last episode about pollen. You can see I'm looking out the window and you can the yellow haze. I just want it to rain and wash all this pollen away. I hate it. Ugh. I feel like Ryan Getzlaf after Andre tripped him. Oh my god, I'm just so heated about this. But the Hurricanes, as I mentioned, all in all, they're able to come away with the win in this game, which is really good. And I think that they're going to need to build on the positives here, because offensive struggles have been a real big issue really since the beginning of March. And heading into the playoffs and just down this last stretch of the regular season, we're going to have to get the this line, and because they've shown flashes of still being able to score. You had those games in St. Louis and this game against Anaheim. The guys can clearly, they can score. We know they can. I mean, you had all the efforts pre-March, of them, racking up goals. It's just kind of as of late, the offense has really stagnated. And it's not a good time for it to stagnate. So it's really going to have to pick up where and get to where it needs to be sooner rather than later, because it is March, or I almost said it's March. It is April 12th. And, like I said, we're taking on the Rangers tonight. We have a little over left in the season. Our last game is April 28th tonight. Then we have Detroit, Colorado, Arizona, Winnipeg, New Jersey, New York Islanders, New York Rangers, and New Jersey Devils. We have 9 games left, including tonight. So the Hurricanes, it's now or never with getting your offense the way it needs to. Yeah, tonight it's going to be tough. You're playing the Rangers. And then Saturday against Colorado. Again, you got some tough games this week. And then New York Rangers again on the 28th. So you got some tough games, but all in all, Detroit, Arizona, Winnipeg, New Jersey, I think those are games where the Hurricanes can really find themselves again. Obviously, they can do it tonight against the Rangers or Saturday against the Habs. Not saying they're gonna lose those games. They've shown that they can win those games, or at least in Colorado, they can. But they really have got to get it going now. It's now or never with this stuff, because I don't want us to get to that first round and we can't score, and then we're playing golf here in the next few weeks, in another month and a half. So Hurricanes really got to get that stuff under control, of getting their offense where the way it needs to be, getting their power play to the lethal levels that it was at earlier in the season. And if I think they'll be fine going into the regular season. I know I've said this in the past few episodes, but that is something that the Hurricanes have got to do. They have got to get their offense where it needs to be, power play as well. But before we get into the playoffs, we got to get through tonight against the New York Rangers. We will dive into that game and what all the Hurricanes need to do to win this game right after this quick break. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company that gives you the features of $200 sunglasses for a fraction of the price. That means polarized lenses, well-constructed durable frames, and premium high-end finish. Also, something you won't find anywhere else is Shady Rays' Insane Protection Program. Shady Rays includes lost and broken protection on every pair. They will send you a brand new pair if you lose them, no matter what happened. Give them a try, and if you don't love them, you'll pay nothing. It's as simple as plus 10 meals are donated to fight hunger in America when you shop with Shady Rays. Exclusively for our listeners, head to shadyrays.com, code locked on to get 50 off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. That's code locked on, best deal of the season. 50% off 2 or more pairs of Shady Rays sunglasses, backed by over 150,000 verified 5-star reviews. So go to shadyrays.com and use code locked on, 50% off 2 or more pairs of Shady Rays sunglasses. And folks, the NHL plays are right around the corner, and betonline.net is your number one source for all of your sports stats and sports info. Find all of the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's basketball playoffs and the start of the Major League Baseball season. BetOnline continues sports for all of your sports weight information, from live betting to playoffs, esports, and more. And of course, Hurricanes. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends and action. Bet online where the games start. Now, we just had a really good win against the Anaheim Ducks. Jordan Staal netted his first hat trick in 14 years. So how are the Hurricanes going to continue to build onto that heading into the Big Apple tonight, taking on the New York Rangers? The New York Rangers are a very dangerous team this year. They are a team, for me, I was already, I said it last year, that they were a team on the rise, and they exceeded my expectations last year, and they have vastly exceeded my expectations for them this year. I thought that could maybe be a wild card team, maybe first wild card spot, or maybe vie for that third spot in the Metro Division. Not be in a spot where they could win it, where they could win the Metro. 2 points behind us right now. Hurricanes still in the top at with 73 games played, 47 wins, 18 losses, 8 overtime losses, 102 total points. New York Rangers are in second. They've clinched their playoff spot now. Also with 73 games played at a 20-6 record with 100 total points. So the Rangers are really, really good. They've exceeded my expectations of them this season. I did not expect them to be 100. I did not expect them to be in the running to win the division. And I think that the fact that they clinched a playoff spot before the back-to-back defending Cup champions is wild and absolutely wild. And speaking of the wild, they have clinched their playoff spot either. But, go tune in to Locked On Wild for that. But they will for sure. But, getting back to this game, it's crazy to think about just how good the Rangers and very much exceeding expectations that I had for them. It's just how good this team is, and that the Hurricanes are really going to have their work cut out for them. It's going to be a game like the last one against time, where the team is firmly out of the playoff race. They're sitting well out of it. So they're kind of playing a team with nothing left to lose. At that point, very much like Buffalo when we were talking about nothing left to lose. They're just kind of going out there and doing their thing. So they had no problems. Having dropping some gloves and 3 guys going to the penalty box at the same time. They had no problem with that. With the Hurricanes, say, maybe not the decision. Do something like that. But tonight against the Rangers is really going to be to see just how ready the Hurricanes are for the play. Because, like I just are a really, really good team. And I think that they are really going to have to game tonight. The Rangers have the second power play in the NHL. Yes, we have the strength penalty kill, but that is another thing that has kind of slipped, ever since March 1st. So, as a whole, still been really, really good, but it has some. So our penalty killing unit is really going to need to step up in this, because they're going to have their work cut out for them big time. And our power play as well. It's ranked 9th in the league, and it's the top 10 unit. But again, many things that the Hurricanes has slipped since March 1st. So if we can bring our A game in that regard, I think we'll be all right. I'm not necessarily worried about goaltending or anything like that. And I think that the Hurricanes know that they are really going to have to bring it when it comes to defense and supporting their goaltender in this game. Obviously, you got to do that. I mean, you got to do that in every game, because if you don't do that, you can lose to the worst teams if you don't play good and you don't support your goaltender. So if they can do all that, I think they'll be all right. But this is really going to be a test of where they're at offensively into the playoffs. Because I keep saying it every episode, their offense is not needs to be heading into the playoffs. And this is really going to be a game to really just gauge how fans and what you need to do to improve it and how you can improve it. You're going against a playoff team, a really dangerous playoff team at that. So I think a big thing for the Hurricanes in this one is they are really dominant in playoffs. You get face-off percentage. Teams hurt fourth in the league. Rangers 25th. So I think that the Hurricanes really need to win face-offs, which they typically do. That's never really a big issue. But whenever you win those, generate offense off of them. And don't you win the face-off, but then you aren't able to do anything with it, And I think if they can do that, I think that's going to be a real good way they can get a leg in this game. So is a big key for the Hurricanes to win here. Capitalize off of your dominant centers winning face-off. They can do that. I think they really stand a good chance here because one thing I think that the works in the Hurricanes' favor here, not only in this regular season, but playoffs as well. We meet the Rangers and Hurricanes experience with postseason. The Hurricanes are not the young upstart team. Obviously a young team, and they're not a aging veteran team like Pittsburgh or Washington or Boston. They're not that. But I think that what the Hurricanes can do here is they know how to win in the playoffs. And that's something that helps them. Should we meet the Rangers in the playoffs? But obviously, we got to get through it tonight first, and I think that the Hurricanes' experience is going to be something that can help them out here. But the Rangers are a young team that is feeling themselves right now. Very much like say Buffalo. I bring them up again. They beat us to be good, and they're a young team that's feeling themselves. Moment, they're not in the playoffs, but they're feeling themselves. Go out and beat us, and now you're playing against a team clinch us 100+ point team on the season, feeling themselves playoffs. That's dangerous. That is very dangerous, and the Hurricanes are going to have their work cut out for them in this game. It'll be interesting to see what the Hurricanes with in net here, and whether they go with Anderson and Raanta, because we are in another back-to-back as we had the Rangers tonight, and then we have the Kings. Oh wait, I'm sorry. We are not in a back-to-back. I don't know how to tell days anymore because yeah, we have Detroit on Thursday. Yeah, I totally got my days confused there, y'all. But I'm gonna see what we do. Freddie got the start on Sunday against Anaheim. I think that probably go with Freddie here tonight. I think you need to put your better of the two goaltenders out in this game against the Rangers, and then you could do Ronta on Thursday against Detroit. I think you could do that, but we'll dive more into lineup predictions and more keys to victory and summing that stuff up right after this quick break. Folks, rockauto.com is a family business serving do-it-yourself for 20 years. With the ever-increasing numbers of models, for your local chain auto parts store to stock all parts you need. Why endure often pointless, seemingly intimidating questioning and wait while the person behind orders the parts on their computer, choosing the only brand that their warehouse happens to carry. You have computers with access to rock.com at home and in your pocket. So save time and money when using Rock Auto. Why choose to spend 30, 50, or even 100 more for the same parts from your car dealership? As I said, Rock Auto is a family business serving do-it-yourselfers for over 20 years, and their prices are reliably low for every customer. Everything you can need from tail lamps, motor oil, new carpet, and everything in between. Explore their easy-to-use website and find the solution to all of your parts needs today. Go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck. And don't forget, locked on in how did you hear about us box so they know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliably prices, all the your car will ever need at rockauto.com. Now, looking at the Hurricanes to what the Hurricanes need to do in this game. As I mentioned, when stops and capitalize and generate off of those, you have a very distinct advantage in that department in this game. So generate chances off of the face offs, you win. That's going to be big here. And I think obviously, your special teams is going to be one that really has to step up, especially the penalty kill in this game. I usually say it's the power play. In this one, your penalty kill really has to bring their A game obviously power play does as well. So, we'll lump all the special teams, but I'm at the penalty killing here in this game. You're going up against the number 2 ranked power play in this game. They have a distinct advantage in that. In regards, to compared to your ranked number 9. It's not as big of a difference compared to your face-off. We're ranked number 4 in the league. They're ranked number 25. So not necessarily like that, but the Hurricanes, they really need to bring it. It's their penalty killing tonight, and I think a really big thing that the Hurricanes are going to need to do this one is shut down the Rangers offense, specifically Timmy Panarin. The kid has I don't think he's a kid anymore. I think he's a little bit older than me. But